This is a very serious video as it relates to the life of YNW Melly. If you're a YNW Melly fan, I encourage you follow along. Now, YNW Melly's Instagram page released 2 new photos with captions relating to his life inside of jail. The first post has a YNW Melly mugshot alongside a caption stating, "As of this moment today, I am officially in fear of my life. A new captain named Hubert and XO Jenkins have taken over the jail for 2 weeks now and have handed out even harsher punishments for me and then the previous ones in place. Since December 1st, I have moved out and housed on a unit that holds 24 inmates at once. I am the only inmate being housed in the vacant unit, with no phone privilege, no television, and no access to a newspaper. They are watching my every single move on a camera, making sure I don't use the phone to tell the world how I'm being mistreated, discriminated, threatened physically, harassed. When I come out of my cell for the 1 hour per day, all of the other inmates in the adjoining dorms must go back in their jail cells. I am being subjected to cruel and unusual treatment at the hands of deputies and high-ranking staff of the Broward Sheriff's Office. I have been threatened by deputies, lieutenants, and sergeants that say, and quote, they will hide me from the world, and threaten to go after me if I tell my lawyers that they will lie and say I did it to them first. Those are words from Sergeant Anthony Kidd and Lieutenant Jane. I have literally been hidden from the world, so I have no other choice but to believe the next step is them going after me till it's the end, like they do the other inmates almost daily here at the main jail at Broward County. Now this then led into the second message posted to Melly's Instagram. Now this is another mugshot of YNW Melly alongside a caption saying, "I can't call my family or lawyers to notify them if I have been hit or harassed. They say my phone privileges are taken permanently because all of the infractions over the last 7 months. That is a lie. They took my phone privileges indefinitely off of my one. Violation for using another inmate's PIN to talk on the phone when I am not allowed to use the phone. If I had been treated like every other inmate at this facility, my phone PIN would have been restored and my phone privileges back given after 30 days per the handbook. I have, however, went without phone privileges since May 8th, 2022, and have not been given back my phone PIN since the first year that I was here. I have served all of my disciplinary time, so why are my phone privileges still taken? Why am I the only inmate on a unit by themselves, blocked from any human interaction? There are inmates here that have been convicted or orchestrating robberies over the jail phone, and another who planned an escape from jail who was carried out over the jail phone. They are still allowed to use the phone after committing serious crimes and security threats to the facility. But my phone privileges are taken indefinitely for violating a harmless phone policy that carries a punishment for 30 days. I am housed and surrounded in the care of power-struck deputies and captains of high authority that have even told me to my face that they don't like me and that I piss them off. I am not safe in the hands of these people, especially if the highest command in jail doesn't like me. I am in fear of my life. My family is in fear of my life, and I cannot do another day here. Someone please help me get moved to another county jail until my trial, please. Now the YNW Melly case has been obviously very quiet for the last few months, and YNW Melly just explained why. The last YNW Melly case update we had was paperwork being released that YNW Melly is no longer facing the penalty within his case, as reports were released of sloppy paperwork by the feds, resulting in the penalty being dropped. As YNW Melly's mother even wrote on her Instagram, and I quote, "The penalty has officially been removed from YNW Melly's case. Thank you, Jesus. Hashtag Free Melly 2022. Now, with the trial beginning soon, the courts are starting to see the defenses from YNW Melly's side. As 100K Track said in an interview with DJ Academics,
he built a real great solid team away from just being innocent because he wouldn't do such a crime. He prepared himself and got a proper, defense. Their job is to handle themselves in trial, not on social media. You guys are taking it that way. If they say they got DNA in a car, I'm just gonna tell you, Melly DNA was found in the car. You're gonna think, yeah, his DNA was found in the car the day of the. Oh, he jumped in a car and his DNA was in the car. He did it, okay? But you're not gonna put the fact that this was his car for 6-7 months on those documents and dockets and just automatically be like, yo, he's fried. You don't even know what the defense is. You don't even know what the rebuttal is. You don't even know why that situation occurred. You hear ballistics flying, you don't know what the defense is. You hear this, you hear that. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest.
Now, ever since positive news was coming out in the YNW Melly case, this is where things now suddenly turned very bad, as there was an update just last week in the YNW Melly case, where a court hearing on Wednesday revealed the penalty is now put back on the table against YNW Melly. Now, when the penalty was originally off of the table, it was because YNW Melly's lawyers were given a chance to prove why Melly doesn't deserve something that severe. But sadly, due to recent events that could be allegedly staged by prosecutors, made the judge turn on his decision, putting the court back on the penalty table. As just before the YNW Melly case went completely silent, YNW Melly was returning back to Broward County Jail after a court hearing, and things turned ugly, as sources claim that while YNW Melly was being transported back to the county jail, sources claim people from Melly's cell block was awaiting his arrival to get back to the jail. Once arriving, YNW Melly was allegedly seen walking directly to his jail cell, where he was then presented to a man standing in his cell by the name of Rico Reckless. As we saw reports being released of, and I quote, YNW Melly being placed in solitary confinement after getting into an altercation inside of jail with another rapper named Rico Reckless from Chicago, Illinois. They are both awaiting their trials to begin. Now, shortly after that report was released, YNW Melly's official Twitter account put out this statement: "To all my loved ones and close friends, I wanted to let everyone know that my phone privileges have been revoked and I'm no longer allowed to call or have video visitation. That is the reason why no one has received any calls from me. But do not worry, I am in great spirits." Now, YNW Melly inside of jail has allegedly always been an issue with newer inmates, as ever since the release of his evidence files, YNW Melly has allegedly been running into countless issues inside of jail, as being inside of jail is loyalty over everything, as there is nothing inside of jail. So many people probably do not trust him due to the fact that his court case is involving the passing of his two best friends, with him looking like the main suspect. But after reading the new YNW Melly messages on Instagram, this could now just be an act by the Broward County Sheriff's Office to try to give YNW Melly an ugly look. As we also saw on September 30th, news outlets reporting, and I quote, YNW Melly is being accused of teaming up with one of his lawyers to plot a prison escape. As the Broward County Jail, where YNW Melly is currently locked up, did an interview with the outlet Complex that mentioned this in the courtroom. On April 11th, 2022, Broward Sheriff's Office received a confidential tip regarding inmates Nicholas Lewis and Jamal Demons, both housed in the same unit at the main jail, planning an escape from jail by having Demon's attorney bring in 2 handcuff keys in order to aid the escape. Additional information provided by the source was that Lewis had an illegal item in jail, as well as narcotics that were not prescribed to him. As the statement continues by saying, jail authorities searched Lewis's jail cell after the tip, which came from another inmate. They found multiple illegal items, as well as narcotics for which he did not have a prescription. YNW Melly's cell was also searched, but nothing was found except food from the commissary and an excessive amount of jail-issued clothing. Now, this all started when another inmate inside of Melly's cell block informed the county jail that Melly and this inmate named Lewis were allegedly speaking loudly about doing illegal things, as he mentioned to surrounding officers that Melly and Lewis were planning a prison escape, starting with Melly's lawyers sliding him a handcuff key during their next meeting. But again, this makes you then wonder, is this also a setup from the Broward County Jail against Melly to make him look bad in the courtroom? What do you guys believe? Leave a like down below if you're new to the channel, and don't forget to subscribe. It's been District Trending, and I'm out. Peace.